man. Come on, man.
He's a pipe fit.
Nah, come on, man. Let's go. Anyway, it's all good.
And that was really lightweight because, you know, we...
Yeah, I mean, well, we on air with you guys, whatever, so it gets probably a little bit, you know, more raunchier and, you know...
Yeah, much more.
I mean, by now some clothes probably fell off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, so basically, and I mean, we got to go real fast, but, you know, I just want to, you know, say a few little things. Probably things that we already know, but we got to, you know, reemphasize cheating on your mate. Because sometimes, you know, and she actually tells me this all the time. Sometimes even before you've actually committed, like, you know, the actual physical act, cheating or whatever, something like that. Sometimes you'd be surprised how, like, things can sneak up on you. You know what I'm saying? Like in the form of like a conversation. I mean, nowadays there's so many ways to, you know, to communicate with somebody else, and you know, you kind of, you know, do it under the radar. You know, all these messenger apps we got now. You know, all these different ways you can, you know, send, like, basically text somebody. I mean, you got stuff like Snapchat nowadays where you could take a picture, send it to somebody, then it's erased in, like, you know, God knows, I think what, like a minute or something like that. Something like that. I don't really use it, but I mean, it's just so many different ways you can do that type of stuff. And you know, sometimes you hear a lot of people when they tell cheating stories. Like a lot of times it's, you know, it's got to play ball. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people you hear about cheating, you know, it'll be as a result of, you know, just caught up in the moment, wrong place, wrong time, or you just, you know, like, yeah, I mean, what's some other dude doing in your place at late at night? You know what I'm saying? Just, you know.
But it could have been innocent. Like, honestly, it could have been innocent. My hot water really did go out. Like, I need 24-hour assistance. However, things happen. We understand that things happen. But a lot of times, we are in control of that. All the time, we are in control of that.
Yes.
And most times, the cheating starts before the cheating actually starts. What do I mean by that? It starts in your mind. If someone, like, if me and him was texting throughout the day, texting back and forth, and those text conversations kind of go left, and then I want to ask him about his wife, that's going left. I should not have to ask him about his wife. That's personal information that I should not want to know. And if I decide to go that route, then it's letting him know that I'm open. And if I'm open, then I'm primed and I'm ready. And all it takes is the right word to say. And if I say your wife, and he say, well, you know, I love my wife, but she's just not, you know, there for me all the time. Like, I need her to be. Like, she don't pay me any attention. And then I'll text him back like, you know, well, wow, I hate that because you're such a wonderful man. And, you know, if you were my man, I would definitely pay you attention. Oh, now his antennas is up because he wants attention and he's getting attention. So then he's going to text me back like, man, I wish you was mine. You know, before you know it, that whole conversation, and I guarantee you, the conversation going to start going into the sex conversation. You know, my wife don't even give me, you know, what I want. And a lot of times, you know, men desire a lot of more things in sex than what women really want to give to them. And if you have that woman saying that all of my doors are open 24/7, if you get my drift, if I'm telling him I'm 7-Eleven, then he's gonna try to be there, and he's gonna want to see what my store have in store for him. So, you know, you have to be careful in conversations because it could be so innocent, but it can go to the guilty part really fast. And before you know it, you are cheating on your mate before you even get into the sexual act. Because, you know, the Bible speaks that if you already think it, so are you. So if you think it in your mind, it's already done. That does not mean that you need to just go ahead and commit the sin. But at the same time, if you're texting this man back and forth, things that you wouldn't show your husband, or things that your wife couldn't just pick up your phone and read, then, and if you feel as if you need to delete those messages, or put a code on your phone where your wife can't get to it, then that means you're hiding something, and that means that in your mind you know that you yeah, you were guilty from the start. Lennar has a code on his phone, a password. I do too. We know each other's. I pick up his phone in a heartbeat and be looking up sometimes just to go on Pandora. But if he was cheating, like, he'll just be like edgy, trying to see like why is she in my phone? What is she looking for? What? So just stay on the up and up all the time. All the time. Just be honest with each other.
And a couple of things I just want to piggyback off of that. We're gonna get ready to get out in a minute, but she said something real important. Backtracking a little bit, she was talking about the whole attention thing. It's real important, especially when you're married. But even if you're not married, if you're just single and dating, you know what I'm saying. You definitely want to make sure that your mate never feels like they have to get attention from somewhere else. And don't get me wrong, especially when you got kids, both parties are probably working, or even if it's just one party working, whatever. I mean, there are so many things in our everyday lives that can take away from our bond and connection. And we don't never mean any harm by it, but we're human at the same time. So it's important that, with, the kids, with jobs, with whatever else, like with meetings here and, church here or whatever else, it's important to make sure that you and your mate stay like this. Make sure y'all spend time together, like, as much as you can, as much, and I know every situation is different. You guys might be working 2 different jobs at 2 different shifts. It's got to be a communication piece between the two of you guys, and make sure that, whatever it is, saying, when you finally have, like, when you have that, if you only get one day out of the week, let's say like a Saturday is the only days that neither one of you got to work, so you don't have to worry about, shifts, take some time. I don't know, once a week, once every 2 weeks, I don't know, something, but just take something where you can say, okay, hey, we're gonna send the kids away, or we're gonna call a babysitter or something, and we're gonna spend some time with each other. Like, that's important. You want to keep your mate into you. You don't ever want your mate to feel like they own an island, because I don't care how you guys can be the most committed. You know what I'm saying? You could be in love. You'll be in love with them, whatever. But if we're human, if you don't make sure everybody has that attention, make sure that and I mean, guys, I'm just I mean, you want your women to, you want your wife, your woman, your girlfriend, whoever, to always feel like, she's always still that special somebody in your life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't want her ever to feel like she's taken for granted. Like, okay, it's just another day, today, Tuesday, or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, show up with flowers one day. You know what I'm saying? Tell her just turn to her sometimes. Just tell her that, she killing it with them shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got it going on. Because let me tell you, especially these men out here today, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, in a heartbeat, you know what I'm saying? Especially you got a good looking woman like this one right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, there ain't no shame in the game for them to come and, tell a woman, like, oh yeah, I see you in them shoes, And I mean, a woman, you know what I'm saying? She a woman. A woman wants to be told, like, hey, yeah, I'm looking good, you know what I'm saying? Like, on a day that she might not feel it herself, you know what I'm saying? Somebody coming to her telling her, like, oh yeah, you real pretty, mom, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, or you whatever. Like, you just never know, you know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real, however way it's,
like,
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that attention thing is something that you definitely want to make sure, that you always kind of keep control of,
And with our men, women, like, we often take our men for granted. Sometimes, especially when, you're married. The people that's dating, that's watching, you're kind of still at that level right now. Even if you have been together for a long period of time. It's, to me, I feel like when you're dating, you don't let go as much as when you get married.
Right.
So, but as being married, I have to tell him a lot of times, like, dude, you're a great dad. Dude, you super dope. Like I love watching him in the act of when he's playing on the piano and on the organ. Like this last Sunday, the bench broke on the organ. But this dude was like Great Balls of Fire. He's standing on the organ. he playing standing up. And I'm like, I was in church, but that turned me on so much. Cause I'm like, this dude is, man, I wanted to be that organ at that particular time, I'm saying. So it's just certain things, and I had to let him know that. Like, and I'm sure just hearing that did something to him. You know what I'm saying? And like when he's in the midst of working on computers or something like that, or if I call him and I'm at work and I'm like, this computer froze up and I FaceTime him and he can tell me exactly what to do where my boss didn't have to call somebody in to actually pay for it, which you need to send them an invoice. But but when he's able to do that, like that turns me on super. Like I'm coming home, What's up? You know, but because I love a smart man. I love a man that can hold his own. And I have all of that in him. And I let him know that all the time, like what turns me on. So I told him a certain way he plays the piano that it turns me on. So I've noticed lately he be digging in. I just be like, yeah, and he does it all the time. But why? Because I let him know that I'm looking at it. I'm watching it, and when he do it, I just be like, I'm like the groupie, you know.
I like seeing that look, you know what I'm saying? I mean, fellas, look, y'all know, it ain't no other better feeling. Just know that your wife just sees you as, you know, that dude, you know what I'm saying? And I tell her all the time, like, you know what I'm saying? I know sometimes it's hard to really fathom it, but I tell her all the time, like, you know what, I'm satisfied when I know you're satisfied. So when I know that you just being taken care of, you got not just what you need, but what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like when you smiling and you around here, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all I need. I don't need nothing else. So I take pride in, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, keeping this lady here happy because she the bomb anyway. I mean, this lady right here, like I loved her. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved her big time.
We both looked up on each other. So. But getting back to the real point at hand.
Right, I know we just got lost in space or whatever, but
yeah, cheating. Go ahead, baby.
Oh no, go ahead. You got it.
Cheating is real. I mean, and we can't just kind of dance around it. Like it happens, things happen, and we have to just open it up and be like, you know, where did it start from? How did you get to that point? What can we do together, not just me and Lenard, but everybody that's watching, everybody that's married, everybody that's engaged, people that's dating it and want to get married and have a long life with your wife or with your husband. What can we do to stop you from feeling like you have to cheat? Now, sometimes there are people out there that have an addiction, that have a problem. And once again, like we always encourage you to, if you see that your mate has an addiction and sex, you can be addicted to sex. And if you have that problem and you see that, if I see that I cannot fulfill my husband sexually, and I done pulled out all the ropes, I done pulled out every tote in my closet, I done did headstands and backwards flips, and he's still not content and not happy and not satisfied with the sex, then we need to figure out why you want it so much, stuff like that. So sometimes, you know, your mate may have a sex addiction. And if so, then you need to go and get help. If you just a whoremonger, then, you know, there is God. He can help you too, okay? Because there's people out here that are, and they're sick too, because if you're out there whoremongering, then that means that it's a great possibility that you need help. And God is a healer, and he can deliver you from all of that. But you have to first admit that you do have that problem, because you will never be able to be happy within your marriage if you're dealing with that demon. That demon will not just flee. you have to confess it, and you have to make sure that you understand what's going on, and you have to seek God, you have to pray, you have to fast, and eventually that demon will go. The Bible said you resist the enemy and he will flee. You can't resist the enemy when you're texting this female back and forth. That's not resisting. You're playing into the foreplay to what's to come.
Exactly.
And you're expecting what's to come. So you have to be very careful with the things that he's so ignorant. See, we talk about sex. Men just totally forget what's going on. They just he has been gone since we did the
man. I'm still ready to go to the room, bro. You know what I'm saying? But nah, she's right though. She's absolutely right. And I got a feeling we might have to come back to this because it's getting late. You know what I'm saying? We need to wrap up. But yeah, it's definitely real.
It could be a part 2.
Yeah, it might be. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to dive into some other things. But like she was just saying, like that thing is real. And I mean, let's keep it real. It's the reason why a lot of couples split and they don't come back. And I hate to hear that personally because you can be missing like a jewel. You can be missing something real good just for something that once it's over with, you just have so many regrets and
they
so
don't
many.
Last either.
And it's just like, was it really worth it? I mean, we're going to come back to this. This is good. It was just starting to get good. And I mean, we got a lot more, but it's getting late. You know what I'm saying? We hope you guys enjoyed our acting skills. You know what I'm saying? We ready for Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? If anybody watching, you know what I'm saying? Producer wise, you know what I'm saying? Like we taking roles, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you got in real, like, I'm still kind of nervous because everybody's watching me, but you kind of like, you grabbed your pants and sitting there like, oh my God.
Yeah, I got in that joint real good. So.
Yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of Let Our Vows Evolve. Once again, you can always, hit us up on our Facebook page. You can hit us up on our email address. You can hit us up on... There's Facebook, an app for that
Twitter,
too.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we on there. Our email is loverazor, L2L,
at gmail.com.
So, like I said, email us with your questions, your concerns,
or you can call us at 773.
Call her. Don't call Tyrone. You know what I'm saying? I ain't Tyrone no more.
He don't answer his phone anyway. If he don't know the number, I'll be at somebody else's house and my phone is dead. I gotta dial his number like 10 times, and then he'll be like, "Hello." So yeah, he won't answer.
There's an app for that. We're still working. Look, our Apple users, we haven't forgotten about you. Just Apple's just so difficult with this stuff. But we're still hoping that the Apple app will be available. Apple. But for all you Android users,
be an Android lover. I'm an Android lover.
Get our app. Just type in Let Our Vows Evolve. Get our app and follow us. Follow us on social media. Email us. Hit us up. We appreciate you guys, man. This is great. You know what I'm saying? We love it. We love you guys. And until next time.
Let our vows evolve. Hey, hey, let our vows evolve. Hey, Did you do the wrong line? Turn it off. We're done. That's it.